Outnumbered Overtime, OT, baby. And Judge Pirro.
Judge, she's got to go. She's a busy lady.
That's how she rolls.
She's a busy lady.
Actually, I walk through the hallowed halls of the HQ here, the headquarters, and if I'm with the judge, it's like I'm rolling with Bay. Like, woo! Work it out, girl. All right.
See you later.
Bye, Judge. We love having you.
Back soon.
Thank you,
All right.
Judge.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. There she goes in those gorgeous shoes. They have these like,
Bye.
oh, they're so pretty, and they have these like big flowers on them, like New Year's Eve.
Yeah, both of
bling,
you have
so on and
stuff
so
going
forth.
on in your
yeah,
shoes, huh?
we got
Very
we got the
exciting.
shoe thing going on. Yeah, we got into it about Hollywood and this whole Madonna thing, right?
Yeah, I can't believe it. That was really fascinating, to say the least.
She's got a lot of own problems in her life. If you follow gossip on
really?
TMZ, which I do on
that's sad.
occasion, which I won't restate right now because it's not worth it, but she should maybe look at some things in her own life before she starts judging everybody else's.
It's always hard to do that biblical thing, though, to get that stick out of your eye. and unfortunately, people who are, sycophants around you often will hand it back to you once you flick it out. So it's hard.
I think we angered our general audience with the Madonna quotes.
Yeah? Do they love Madonna?
Well, no, I don't think that they loved Madonna, but I think that they have feelings about what she said.
It's I'm
they were tawdry,
no
what she said.
Pollyanna. It's pretty graphic. I mean, it's gross.
It's so true. A lot of people love the way we ended the TV version of us. And by the way, thank you to everybody on the live chat today, foxnews.com/outnumbered. And you click on that overtime tab. You all know that, but sometimes people can get to the page and not really know how to get in, and they hear our voice, but they don't see our face. There are a lot of people on it right now, so we appreciate that. What's Facebook Live looking like?
Sorry, I'm right in the middle of some really fun tweets. Let me hop on to Outnumbered for you, because what a beautiful moment there on the live version of Outnumbered. And you commented on the flyover on this day. How do you know so much about airplanes?
I love planes. I've been wanting to get my pilot license for a long time, but it takes about 6 months. So I'm.
You do have your pilot's license?
I will.
Very good.
Give him time.
Yeah, but I love planes. I love our military. I love what they use, and so most of the military equipment and technology is coming to us slowly. So.
On this December 7th, as we mark 75 years since that day that will go down in infamy in 1941, it was interesting. I was reading this morning about how technology now can help us so much better to identify the remains of some of the World War II men that we lost. And we haven't had that capability, so they are reinterring some of the places where they're buried to be able to do that. And you think, well, that is painstaking work. Some of them would have been 18 at the time. That would have been the youngest. Some even sneaked in. We've read about those stories where there were 16-year-olds, but for the most part, they'd be pretty much in their 90s now. And having that closure, I would imagine, for their legacy, their descendants, would be great.
And also all the local Hawaiians that were there with the troops.
Oh, that's such an excellent point.
Yeah, all the local Hawaiians were there, so lost their lives on that terrible day.
I'm going to pick up something now and change gears from the live chat. Grammy4 says President Trump has inherited a divided United States of America, but will hopefully unify our great country. You hear about on the front of Time magazine, and the almost parenthetically, but not quite, small print, that he's president of a divided America. But it's kind of like when President Obama says he inherited a broken economy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I just think the worldview of so many people, if we've learned nothing from this election, it's that journalists who work in New York and D.C. need to leave Manhattan and Washington, D.C. once in a while to realize what the rest of the country is like. And to me, this is just obviously through the prism of a liberal board of editors or whomever chose this editorial. I think it's terribly disrespectful. I think it's ridiculous. And again, to give no responsibility and culpability to President Obama for how divided we are. Donald Trump isn't even yet our president, and already he's getting the responsibility of all the negative things that have happened under President Obama. And I'm really over all of it. I really think that a lot of people in journalism need to take a really cold, hard look at themselves. And I've had a lot of really honest conversations with some journalists that I came up with working at Newsweek almost 12 years ago. And all of a sudden, the things that I was saying during the election about you needing to leave this city, and you have to talk to real Americans once in a while if you want to be considered an unbiased unbiased reporter, all of a sudden there's a tone shift that, oh, maybe Megyn was right. Maybe I should listen to her. Maybe I should talk to someone who, maybe I should meet an evangelical, a gun owner, or a Trump supporter before deciding to judge them and write about them.
Absolutely. I
Anything
agree.
on Facebook?
Texas Man 79 just wrote in saying, I would hope and pray that people can see good change and good reason for a better tomorrow. Though when I see liberal friends of mine unable to open up to conversations that tackle both sides, it makes it impossible for liberals to change.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is. They'll never change. Hopefully.
I actually think some may. There's a lot of soul searching going on with some people that I know about what they've missed. At least people that work in media, about what is it that we didn't. I actually talked to a big Trump surrogate like you on my radio show the other day, and she said she always knew the polls were wrong because they were only polling Democrats and independents in so many of the polls, and that if you're not even caring to call people from the other side, that it can't be polled properly.
And I also have read that it was because people didn't really want to tell anybody what they were going to do because the nation's kind of atmosphere was so toxic.
Remember we had that conversation on this show right before the election about the Bradley effect, and I said I was certain that the Ivanka Trump voter would be, which is basically me, like a white college educated woman who lives in an urban environment, that they would end up being Trump voters, and they came out in high numbers.
Yeah. Yep.
I can't tell you how many people I spoke to who went to vote not having their mind made up and went Trump.
Really?
Because people were willing to gamble on change. They knew what they were getting with Hillary. It was more of the same. It was more of corruption, exactly who the Clintons are. And even if you have, concerns about some of the things he said during the election, I think people were just willing to gamble that he'd be a big success. I know a lot of people like that. I knew he was going to win, or I had a hunch that he was probably going to win, when friends of mine from Colombia were going to vote for Trump. Girlfriends of mine who couldn't pull the trigger for Hillary. And I was like, this is why he has and I said this. Remember with Mike Huckabee? I said it with him 2 days before the election.
Yes, and he tends to reward those who have been loyal to him. Is there a place for Antonio on the Trump team?
From day one. I mean, I want to be in the fitness council. I really, it's something that I'm really passionate about, to bring more fitness and PE into schools.
I love that.
If you allow me to do that, I would certainly do my best, and I would bring that back, because we need more physical education in school, junior high schools and high schools especially.
You'd be such a great surrogate to go out to high schools across the country on behalf of the administration. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, and bring in better foods at these schools and just educate them on everything like that. So,
when I saw you, I think it was in Philly at the DNC.
Yes.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Oh, God, you went to the DNC?
Oh, yeah.
Were people so mean to you?
It was a fabulous experience. Remember, you and I were up in the Skybox the first night that opened the convention, and we were up there doing some radio, and I thought it was great. I think people would be surprised. It was like an event to go to. It was like a concert. So people from all perspectives.
Cleveland?
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland and Philly. I mean, the people were just kind of there.
That was awesome.
Outside of the protesters during the daytime, the nightlife, during the actual convention, people just wanted to see the spectacle, right?
That city was so safe, and the checkpoint to get inside the arena was amazing. I mean, in
Cleveland?
In Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
We had a type of law enforcement in that city. It was just, it was great. I walked through that city, and it felt extremely safe. And I remember when Trump walked in, nobody knew he was coming, but as soon as he walked in, they shut every single door, every single floor was closed off, and I said, he's here. And he showed up, and he came on stage.
It's so funny, too, and that was when it was, I had already known this because of living in New York City. I run into Trump's children, but at the convention in Cleveland, I went up and met up with a reporter friend of mine from a station, a local in Cleveland, and we went to one of the hotels that they happened to be staying. They just walked in with like the grandmas, the wives, the whole
kids,
Trump family, and not Donald Trump, not the father. But they walked in and it was just they were so casual and so out there, and talked to anybody who approached them.
I want to give a couple of shout outs to people, and I'm liking your postings on Facebook Live because I want to include you here. Edward, Angela, Morris, just saying how much they loved having you here today. They love the panel in general.
It was a great panel today.
And all sorts of things here. But Paul Kelly says, yes, PE back in schools.
Yeah.
Has it left or something?
It's really
cut back, right?
Well, yeah, they just don't have the money.
They have
a lot of the public schools just
running
don't.
around the field, and that's about it. And
No,
we need a lot more.
And what Paul Kelly is saying is that we need it all the way back to grammar school.
Do you run, Antonio?
I do.
Oh,
Maybe
He's
we
going
can
to
go
run
for a
right
run
now.
someday.
Not
We
me.
all got to go. Hey, great to have you.
good to be here.
Happiness and all
Merry
the joy in the
Christmas,
world
everybody.
is
Yeah, Merry
holiday
Christmas.
season. Merry
Thank you.
Christmas.
Thank you.
We'll see you back tomorrow.